took out the music.
I see someone just turned 30.
I see, yeah. All right. Has a job, any job. Welcome to the Coach Craig Kenneth Show. I'm your host, Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we are not only coaches, we are therapists.
That's true.
And today we're going to be talking about your requirements with dating as you get older. You know, a lot of people talk about how as they get older, they now look for different things. And I guess they just get so frustrated with what's out in the dating pool that their standards just keep getting lower and lower.
And as you develop, your developmental task changes, right? When you're younger, you might be more interested in friends and having fun, versus when you're older, you might be looking for more stability and traits that go towards that. So it makes sense as to why your preferences and requirements might change over time.
Yeah, I think mine wouldn't get lower. They would be different things. I would be looking more at somebody's value system and things like that. When you're younger, you don't really consider those things
as much,
right? Mm-hmm. I think as you age, I don't think you have to lower your standards. I think you have to really reevaluate what's important to you. If you're just drawn to somebody because they bring up how your parents made you feel, you're going to still get in that cycle of likely chasing people that are unavailable.
Right. And you can change a lot between, young adulthood into later adulthood, and you might prioritize different things. So I'm curious to see what the requirements are for this person that we're going to react to.
A lot of people don't know this about you, but now one of your requirements is all of their teeth.
Yes. Before it used to be 50%.
Or less, let's be honest.
Actually, I don't think that's ever been the situation, but you know what? People of all teeth deserve love. Or no teeth.
All teeth, no teeth, everything in between.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course. Let's share this one. Let's take a look at her list and how it changes here. I think this is a kind of funny one.
All right, let's see.
Let's see.
And imagine some festive music in the background.
Yeah, we took out the music.
I see someone just turned 30.
I see, yeah. All right. Has a job, any job.
So financially stable, to pay his own phone
bill. Can afford his own groceries. Knows how to use deodorant.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah. Especially if they like going to conventions.
Yeah.
Replies within 24 hours. Doesn't disappear for 3 days straight. Is not emotionally terrifying.
I like this list because it seems like the ones that she replaced it with something a lot more specific, which tells me that she's probably been through her fair share of experiences. And this is another thing that happens as we develop and grow.
Let's see that list again. Let's see the first list that she had.
Right,
can we pause it on that so we could take a look and see what her original requirements were? Okay, pause it right there. Back it up just a tad so we could see that first one.
Let's see.
I'm curious. I want to see how good. Okay, emotionally intelligent and consistent. Now, do you think she was really looking at that in her 20s?
I mean, it's
if she
possible.
is, she gave up on it.
I'll say it's possible, but I could see how somebody's experiences in their life can cause them to be a lot more specific about what they do like, what they don't like, and sometimes we don't realize what we like or don't like until we see it.
Yep. Financially stable and ambitious.
Okay.
Takes care of his health and appearance.
Very good.
Gentle, respectful communicator.
Mm-hmm.
Has direction and long-term goals. Makes time and real effort. Loyal without question. I think all of these are things that people really should stick to.
Yeah, and we're not saying that, people in their 20s don't tend to care. There are plenty of people who are very value-driven, who do care from the get-go and have their intentions set and know what they want, and that's amazing. And there's a lot of people who don't as well.
I know. And when you think about it, I mean, she just turned 30 and she's already dropped her expectations so low. So she's like, do you wear deodorant every day?
It sounds like some of them changed. It sounds like now hygiene is of high importance here, where she didn't necessarily specify that.
I think she kind of assumed it was happening before. And now it's like the standards have dropped so low.
They have to be specific about it.
Well, is this your experience as you've gotten older? Do you feel like you've had to major compromises to what you're looking for?
Well, some might say that some of these are compromises. On the other end, some of them are more specific and might be, a little bit more clear than maybe what she had before. And sometimes people's standards change for the better. Sometimes people's standards get lower. So how have your standards changed throughout time? What is it that you expect now out of a relationship than before?
Yeah.
I think these are important questions to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things we try and help you guys do is really consider who you are going to give an opportunity to. And you really want to be able to weed out people that are really unhealthy from the get-go. Because if you start to invest your time, your feelings, your emotions into the situation, it's going to make it more painful and difficult to walk away. I did a call with somebody today who has been working really, really hard on themselves. And she's kind of entertaining this guy who she described as really avoidant. I'm like, why don't you weed this one out now before you get invested? Because she tends to be drawn to, people with attachment issues. And I'm like, we can already see that he's a very poor communicator and this is likely not going to go well. I think it's better to move on from it now before you start to attach to somebody. And now you're going to go and have a bunch of issues that, could be avoided.
Right. And our requirements can really help us discern, okay, is this a partner that I do want to pursue and continue with or not? So these things are important to talk about and think about.
It should be something that you literally write down and look at. And what is important to you? What is a deal breaker for you? And decide those things before you give someone a chance. That if you see, oh, we don't line up, that is not going to work for me, you nip it in the bud. Otherwise, you wind up with a broken heart.
Yeah, and something I've observed is think about the standards that you hold yourself to. Because there might be standards that you expect from others that you don't even hold yourself to. And then you realize, man, I'm not finding this kind of person. And then maybe you lower your standards, but then you realize that those things are actually important. You just needed to meet that standard yourself.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in that quote of you can only meet others as far as you've met yourself. So the more you're able to work on your self-esteem, work on your confidence, work on your relationship skills, on all these things on this list and the previous list, all lists, if you're able to work on those things, then those standards make more sense to want to see in other people because you see them as possible in yourself. So you're more believing that they are possible in others.
Leave a comment and share some of the things that you find are most important. Or if you feel like your standards have changed or you've lowered them because you've gotten older.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you want to get our help personally, of course, you can do that. Go to our website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.